Am I the only one that didn't know the incredible journey of St. Augustine? Born in Thagast, North Africa in 354 AD, Augustine's early life was marked by a thirst for knowledge. His mother, Monica, was a devout Christian. His father, Patricius, remained a pagan. Augustine excelled in rhetoric and immersed himself in philosophy. He explored various schools of thought, from Manichaeism to Neoplatonism. Augustine grappled with questions about good, evil, and the meaning of life. His early writings reflect these philosophical explorations. This intellectual search was crucial for his later theological development. He became a renowned teacher of rhetoric in Carthage, Rome, and Milan. Success did not quench his inner turmoil. He yearned for more than worldly achievement. His personal life, marked by a long-term relationship and a son, weighed heavily on him. Augustine's search for truth was deeply personal and existential. Augustine's encounter with Christianity was gradual and transformative. In Milan, he came under the influence of Ambrose, the city's eloquent bishop. Ambrose's sermons, particularly his allegorical interpretations of Scripture, captivated Augustine. He found himself drawn to the intellectual rigor and spiritual depth of Christian thought. Augustine's exposure to Neoplatonism, which emphasized the transcendent realm of forms, had already prepared him for certain Christian ideas. He began to see the limitations of his previous philosophical pursuits. The year 386 AD marked a pivotal moment in Augustine's life, his conversion to Christianity. He describes this experience in his Confessions as a profound spiritual struggle and surrender. While in a garden, tormented by his inner conflicts, he heard a child's voice chanting, "Take up and read." Opening a copy of Paul's epistle to the Romans, he read a passage that resonated deeply with his own struggles. This moment of divine inspiration led him to renounce his former life and embrace Christianity. Augustine's conversion was not merely an intellectual ascent, but a radical transformation of his heart and will. Confessions, completed around 400 AD, stands as one of Augustine's most influential works and a pioneering example of autobiography in Western literature. The book delves into Augustine's personal journey from sin and doubt to faith and redemption. It chronicles his early life, his intellectual wanderings, his sensual desires, and his eventual surrender to God. Through introspective reflection and candid self-examination, Augustine invites readers to contemplate their own spiritual journeys. Beyond its autobiographical elements, Confessions explores profound theological themes. Augustine grapples with the nature of time, memory, and the human will. He reflects on the problem of evil, the role of divine grace, and the possibility of true happiness. His concept of original sin, inherited from Adam's transgression, is developed in this work. Augustine argues that humanity's fallen nature inclines us towards sin and that we are utterly dependent on God's grace for salvation. Confessions is a timeless testament to the power of God's love to transform even the most restless of hearts. Section 4. The City of God, A Tale of Two Cities. Written against the backdrop of the sack of Rome by the Visigoths in 410 AD, The City of God is a monumental work of political and theological philosophy. In the face of accusations that Christianity was responsible for Rome's decline, Augustine defends the faith and presents a Christian interpretation of history. He argues that true happiness lies not in the earthly city, which is inevitably transient and flawed, but in the eternal city of God, where God's will reigns supreme. The City of God explores the relationship between temporal and spiritual authority. Augustine argues that while Christians have a duty to obey earthly rulers, their ultimate allegiance belongs to God. He develops the concept of just war, arguing that war can be justified under certain circumstances, such as self-defense or the defense of the innocent. Augustine emphasizes that even in war, Christian principles of love, justice, and mercy must prevail. This work lays the groundwork for centuries of Christian thinking about politics, war, and the relationship between church and state. Section 5. Shaping Christian Theology, Sin, Grace, and Free Will. Augustine's impact on Christian theology is profound and enduring. His writings, particularly Confessions and The City of God, became cornerstones of Western Christian thought. His concept of original sin shaped centuries of theological debate. Augustine argued that sin is a radical defect in the human will. This doctrine impacted the development of the sacraments, particularly baptism. Augustine emphasized that grace is a free gift from God. Grace enables us to choose good and follow God's will. This understanding influenced doctrines of predestination and election. Dive deeper into the wisdom of St. Augustine. Visit our website and join our community for more insights and discussions.